Hello everyone, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. Thanks for joining me on my Mystery Monday video today. We're sort of halfway getting into December, getting close to the big day. So today we are going to do a packaging project using these book treat boxes. Now they come like this. There's a pack of 10, 10 pieces in a package. And they are really fun to do for packaging little treats or gift cards or whatever you'd like for various occasions. We're going to do a Christmas little gift box today, but you could use them for Valentine's Day, for Halloween, just for a little birthday, thing for, let's say, a gift card for a birthday or some little jewelry present, something sparkly could definitely fit in there, or even any other holiday or occasion. They're big enough to hold, something fairly substantial, but not huge, right? So these are the two pieces that you get. So this is your book cover, and this will be what makes the box. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we are going to put these together. First of all, the project we're going to make is this one. So you just sort of open it, and this is the size of the treat box right there. So you could put some flat sort of chocolates in there, or other little goodies or treats, cookies you could put in there, whatever you like, gift cards like I mentioned, and then you just sort of close it up, and we'll talk about the closure as we get going and putting this together. Okay, so I already assembled our little box. So here, just to show you, you would fold on all of the score lines, and then you have some adhesive here. So you would fold your box on the score lines, and then you would remove this tear and tape here, and then you would just fold it over and fold it over again and give it a press, and it would seal. And then you would do the same on the other side, okay? So very easy to put together, and this is how your box would come out. Quite sturdy, actually. It's really not flimsy at all, so that's awesome. Okay. Then this is our book cover. So we have some tear and tape on here, which I'll talk about. But what we want to do first is some decorating. Okay, so I am going to cover this with some designer series paper. Oh, and before I go on, I should tell you, if you are looking for these, oh my goodness, they're in our mini catalog that is retiring the end of this month, and our last chance list was released this last week. So feel free to go to my website if you want to check out any of the products that are being discontinued. There are some that have some great sale prices to them, and some that are not being discontinued. So the boxes are right here on page 27. They're all part of this Reindeer Days suite. So they are right here. That's what they look like. So you get 10 boxes for $13.75. Okay, so that's where they are if you're looking for them. Oh, squirrel moment there. Okay. So we're going to decorate this, and you can do this with any sort of designer series paper. You could do it with plain cardstock if you wanted. There's nothing right or wrong, like anything will do. I'm going to use this Season of Green and Gold Specialty Designer Paper. This is kind of how I've been chopping it up. I've used this on quite a few projects. I just love this paper. So we're going to use a piece of that to cover. So I will post all of these measurements later. This, I believe, is 7 1/4 by 4. So it's just big enough to cover the sides, and then we're going to have a little bit of it just peeking over the edge, which we're going to trim off. Okay, so before I put this on, I wanted to cover this little closure tab too. So I cut a piece out of some coordinating garden green cardstock. I did score it at 1 inch, although I think that might be a teeny bit off. So it's not really a big to-do because it will bend over, no problem. So let's put this on first. And I'm just gonna use some liquid glue, and this is a good adhesive to use for the boxes because it has that teeny bit of wiggle room with the glue that, you know, if you haven't lined it up exactly perfect, you can still, you know, it still has a little bit of give that you can, you know, play with it and get it in the right position. So I don't know if you can see, but there are two score lines here. So we're going to focus on this one, and I am going to put this just over that score line because I want my designer paper to cover this. Okay, so when you flip it, you can see it's about the same width as this tab, and we have a little bit hanging over the edge. Okay, so we'll just let that sit. We're going to let this dry for a little bit, but we can add our designer paper while we're waiting for that. Okay, so this piece, I want this green pattern to show, but it does have this beautiful gold sort of diamond pattern, golden vanilla diamond pattern, which is also lovely. Would make some elegant little boxes for an anniversary or a special birthday, something like that. But because it's Christmas, we are going to just use this green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my glue on the box, and I'm just going to put it around the edge, as close to the edge as I can, because I don't want to put too much. I don't want it all to be spilling over like crazy. If you can see this. So just, you know, you could use tear and tape too if you're more comfortable with that. I am not, like I have mentioned, normally a big glue user because of, you know, a bit of the seepage and the mess it can make, but I'm okay with it for these boxes. It does still make my fingers a little sticky, but we'll work with that. Okay, so then we are going to put this just on top of that tab there and line this up. And when you flip it, you'll see that it is pretty much the same size as this, as the width of the box. 4 inches, I think we are playing with. So we're just going to line this up so hopefully not too much of the weight is showing. I'm just going to give it a little rub here at the end because I want those edges and the ends to really adhere nicely. Okay, so we have a little bit of overage that we're just going to trim off. So just take your paper snips, and there's a little bit of a round edge on the corners of the box. So you're just going to trim off that little bit of designer paper there. And same with the tab. Okay, so this hopefully didn't shift too badly. So we're just going to trim this green off. Now you could wait a little bit until your glue's a little more set, but we're just going to go ahead and do it for the sake of our video today. Okay, and then we are going to just trim this excess here that will be on the other end. So just trim that little bit off. And there we go. Okay, so there is our box. Now, I am just going to fold this on those score lines. If you can see them here, there are 2 score lines, which is sort of the binding of our book. Okay, and then we have these score lines here for our closure. So we're going to fold it there, and then we're going to fold it on this other score line here. Okay, so here is where we are going to adhere our box insert. Now they've put in some tear and tape for us, which is perfect. So you're going to peel that off. Okay, and then I just like to eyeball it with your box. You're going to just sort of center it. Excuse my head, I just need to double check that I haven't gotten too close to that binding. And it's very sticky, so just sort of, you know, hang it up a little bit while you're looking, and then sort of try to center it as best you can and give it a press. Okay, so just press that down. And then when you close it, this is how your box comes together. Pretty cool, hey? Now, if you wanted this to be a permanent stuck closure, you would peel off this tear and tape and it would stick. It would just stick to the box, and once you opened it, you wouldn't be able to close it again, okay? Because it's just the one-use tear and tape. What I'm going to do is I just have some of these adhesive Velcro dots from the dollar store. And I'm just going to put 2 of them together, okay, and put it right on top of that tear and tape, right at the edge. And when I fold it over, it may stick up a little, but then you have the option that you'll be able to reuse it, or the person that you're giving to will be able to reuse it and pass it on to someone else if they want to, okay? Now, our inside is done, unless you wanted to decorate something on the inside, but we are going to decorate the outside just to zhuzh it up a little bit, okay? So for that, I used that same designer paper, and I just used the Golden Greenery dies here. There are some dies that coordinate with that designer series paper, and so I did cut out some various pieces, okay, from that paper. And I also cut out a greeting from the Greetings of the Season dies and the Greetings of the Season stamp set to stamp the greeting in Garden Green. So what I'm thinking of doing, like on the sample here, we're just going to put our greeting and then sort of tuck the greenery behind. I also cut a piece of spruce from the same dies, but with Garden Green. Now, some of these, when you first cut them, are going to be a little bit large, so you might need to do a little bit of trimming so that they won't be sticking out all over the place, unless that's the look you're going for. So if I were to put my greeting here, I kind of want all of my pieces kind of to tuck in underneath that. Now, this is a little bit long for me, so I am just going to cut off, and you can just start small and cut off more as you go. Okay, depends how much. So that's probably good. Okay, so let me stick that down. And for this, I think I'll just use regular snail or regular adhesive here. Whoops. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this over here, like so. And then our greeting is still, I'm just using this. I'm not sticking this down just yet because I kind of want to use this as my guide. And then we have some greenery pieces that I've cut out. I'm just going to make these knots. This particular piece looks like it was sort of at the edge of the designer paper, so I'm just going to sort of trim that flat edge. Just sort of try to make it look a little more like a real spruce branch. Okay, it's a little bit off, but it's not too bad. And now we're going to stick underneath here. Let me just trim some of this white. Now, you don't have to do all this extra little trimming bits. You know, it just sometimes depends how it comes out of your die cut machine, right? But that's okay. I'm all right with it. All right, so let's put some adhesive on this one. Okay. That there, and then maybe I will stick this one over here, and then we will add our spruce branch last. So you could decorate this like if you were doing a birthday, put some balloons on it, put a little gift on it, like a little picture of a gift or a die cut. You could add florals, no problem. So many different ways you could decorate to your heart's delight. Okay, so then our spruce. Now that's going to be a little bit long, so I think I'm going to trim this maybe about, let's see, let's still a bit long. Let's just trim it here. You can decide, of course, what you like the best or where you're positioning this on your box. Let's trim that edge off there. Okay, so let's add a teeny bit of adhesive. You could use glue here too if you wanted. Okay, so we're gonna put this here so it sticks out a little bit. Okay, it's coming. And last we can then put our greeting on. So it will cover all of those little connections there at the bottom. So we're just gonna pop this up with some dimensionals. Now I have some old, the mini ones where I'm just using the edge pieces. So they're a little bit thicker and wider, but that's okay. It still does the same job, so it's great to use up all those pieces. Okay, so let's put this sort of here. Okay, so that will be sort of just right by our little closure. Then we're going to add a ribbon. So this is the gold, it's part of that gold and silver trim combo pack. This is the gold, and because we have gold in some of these die cut pieces here, we're going to use the gold ribbon. I just tied it in a simple bow, and we're going to stick that on with a glue dot, like so. And lastly, let's add a little more bling with our druzy embellishments. These are so cute for Christmas. Everyone likes a little bit of sparkle. So let's just put that here on our closure, just to sort of, you know, bling that up a little bit. And there you go. There is your gift box, treat box, whatever you want to call it. And then you would just open this up and you could put your little gift inside or your little treats or whatever you decide. Good to stick in somebody's stocking maybe as well. It would probably fit in the toe part maybe. And I just want to show you a different one that I used with that same designer paper. This is with a plaid pattern that was in that same package of designer paper. But if you were doing this for kids, you could use some really cute snowman paper, Santa paper. We have so many different designer series papers you can choose from. So I hope you enjoyed that project and will maybe consider giving somebody a little something special this Christmas in one of our book treat boxes. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we will see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.